Today we're presenting the SK-3, the Shigeru Kawai handmade 6'2" grand piano. Great tone, great timbre, great touch, great everything. Stick around, you'll be able to check it out. Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We appreciate your support. We love to interact with you. Ted, I do have to say, this is an incredible instrument. If you haven't played one, please come to San Antonio, to Austin. If you're not near us in Texas, we do have locations in Kansas City and in St. Louis. They're both branded Kawai Piano Galleries by Alamo Music. We'd love to see you there. Also, there's 2 stores in Michigan Pianos in Detroit and also in Traverse City. We'd love to help you guys out. Those are all part of our Alamo Music family here. And we should have a nice Shigeru Kawai at any of those locations. Really incredible instruments.
Beautiful instrument, fun to play, just phenomenal instrument.
You told me about these before we ever even had them in the store. You were like, if there's any piano you should check out, and it's not just because of the incredible detailed process that goes into putting this whole instrument together, but it's how it's prepared for the floor and how it's prepared for the player at the very last step. So after it's already meticulously put together, the artisans spend, there's no time commitment on them putting these together.
No, they finish it when they finish it according to the natural flow and the rhythm of the work.
And if you're mad at your piano, they sign off on it. You get the signature of the person who built your piano on, it's a little like a little manual thing that comes with it, and they're signed off, and it's like, hey, this guy, he trained in Italy, he trained in Germany, then he went to Japan, and he's at
what they don't tell you is he worked the line for a long time. Mm-hmm. They just don't randomly, hey, you've been here 10 years, go. No, they take a guy based on his great work and invest more into his education and skill set.
And that's kind of what the idea behind the SK line was. The Shigeru Kawais was, what if we throw away, business logic and we just find the best materials, the best craftsmanship, and spend as much time as we want putting together the best instrument that money can buy. Right. And so when you play an SKEX, their 9'1" concert grand, it's they only make 11 every year, and we've had the privilege of having a couple here, but it's breathtaking. It
really is. It lets you know that this is the realm of the top tiers of what pianos are like and can be.
And you talk to people who are like, oh, well, Steinway makes the best piano, or Bosendorfer makes the best piano, or they'll come in with Fazioli, they come in with these really strong opinions, and they sit and they play this and they go, wow. They might not concede that this is the best instrument ever, but they'll concede that, hey, this is a much better instrument than I was willing to even consider.
Well, we've converted a few Steinway people in the last couple months. Yeah, I mean, there's been a number of them that come in here, and they said, isn't Steinway the best? They're probably the best known.
Yeah. No, they're incredible instruments, but when you start looking at these, and not to go too far off, but this SK-3 that we're playing is you had a chance to go through and really play through it. And
it is a wonderful instrument.
You fall in love with each one of them.
Yeah, and what I like about it is that the pedals are super smooth. There's no key dip. There's no sensation of when the pedal begins to work. It just works.
So it's a dual pivot pedal, and it's only on the SK line. You're not going to find it on the GX line or on the GL line. But yeah, it's a dual pivot point, so it's just a very smooth transition if you're half pedaling, if you're trying to do any sort of pedaling tricks at all. It's like, it's a very smooth process.
Works great.
But yeah, let's talk about a couple other things. So the rim it's still the same construction as on the GX series, but with a little bit of a flare. They actually add this beautiful flamed, this bird's eye flamed maple on the interior, the most inside interior level. So you see this gorgeous craftsmanship. Just right when you look in it, it's kind of shines because the plate is finished a little bit differently as well. So it's a really nice sparkle. It looks like a high-end car finish. Yeah. You see this textured finish sparkle to it, and then on the inside of the rim you see that maple. And we're guitar dealers as well, and so we see this sometimes on high-end guitars. They'll have a neck that's, hey, this is flame maple or this is bird's eye maple, and you see it on this piano, and it's really just incredible to see that attention
Well,
to
they have
detail.
that pyramid model that we had one here, and it was just absolutely gorgeous, insane piano.
Yeah, they do these really neat things, and the 3, the 6'2" model is kind of the model that they will do different finishes with and kind of play around with. And so we're playing on the SK-3 today, and that's what you'll be hearing. But some of the other materials that are kind of just
The one thing I wanted to mention, because
Yeah.
this is one thing I don't think we've ever captured on video, and maybe we need to do it again, because this is one thing that people need to really see about these pianos is how we get them. Okay, because I think a lot of times, as Josh and I were talking about this, is like, I think people think they just come in on a with a blanket wrapped around them, you mostly see pianos in transit. It would be great to film the unpacking of one of these things, so you can really see how much construction there is in the case that contains the piano, and all the extremely heavy-duty corrugated, folded over cardboard that they have to section everything off, and how it's vacuum packed, it's pressure packed, like they sucked all the air out of the plastic bag that they put it in, packed in all this foam, and when you set it up, we have shot a video with one of the SK models. The day they uncrated it, we played it right out of the box without tuning it.
Oh yeah, it's incredible because
it's awesome.
It basically sounds like
It's impressive when you watch the crew uncrate one of these pianos and you realize, man, the packing that they put on these pianos just exemplifies the work ethic and the discipline behind manufacturing these instruments.
And so like on every single level, you see little tiny things. So of course the strings are hand wired, which is a process that takes many countless man hours to do. It's a process that really makes a difference, and you only see that on very high end pianos, that they're going to hand wire the bass strings, and so they're wrapping them by hand. The soundboard is, instead of a lot of manufacturers, both in the guitar world and the piano world, have tried this process of baking the woods, baking the spruce, and does a close job of replicating a vintage soundboard. But in this case, Kawai said, hey, that's a little, it's speeding up the process, and you're sacrificing something along the way. So what they do is they naturally age it. They use time and humidity basically to dry it out, and so the natural soundboard will get more. It will thin over time and get harder over time, and so the sugars start solidifying in that spruce. So they use their highest level of spruce, of course, and they age it for 5 to 10 years before they ever put it into the soundboard. They do solid spruce posts underneath the piano, so it's all the best materials they can find, and they're not going to compromise on that. Of course, it has the Millennium 3 action. The longest keys of any of their pianos. It's going to have the key length's going to be longer, and concert A-grass.
Yeah, it's all the 9-foot stuff on a 6'2" piano.
So it's an incredible instrument. We're going to take a listen to it right now, and then we'll come back and talk about some of the finer details. But the SK-3 6'2" Shigeru Kawai, we're going to hear Ted play it right now. Well, Ted, it's always a treat to hear how full each one of these sounds.
Oh man, the tone is just so round. It's like there's the other third or another half to it compared to other pianos.
It's like on some digital pianos and stuff, there's like the different EQs you can click through. It's like the full EQ where it's like it kind of it turns it all up, and you're like, whoa! I didn't realize that there's all this extra space in the piano, because you really hear the presence of that bass. Like it kind of shakes you, and then like the clarity of the upper register, they really balance each other nicely.
Pianos have a lot of power, and that is the one thing that you notice when you sit down. The first thought that goes through your mind, you play one chord, is like, man, this is a real deal. This thing is really projecting.
You have so much control too. That Millennium 3 action really set up perfectly on these. They spend the most time regulating the actions, making sure they're ready. They also have an MPA visit if you purchase one of these instruments. Their master technicians, the artisans, come in to your home or to your university. Wherever the piano is going, they'll come and they'll spend, what we've witnessed is anywhere from 4 to 6 hours spend voicing it, tuning it, really making sure it's 100% perfect for the space it's in, which is, I think, a really cool detail that not any other manufacturer is doing.
It is. It's kind of like making it custom fit for your space. And
so that has really, I think, elevated the brand and the people's overall satisfaction with it. And it's not a quick turnaround time. It usually takes somewhere between 6 months and 2 years to get the MPA visit, because there's only 3 or 4 that do it in the entire country. But they go around and they make their way around and they come and visit your home. But these guys are the best. They're the same guys who come out for the competition. So if we have an international piano competition here in Texas, they will be there on site, ready to go and be with the piano 8 hours a day to make sure it's ready for the performer. We had a cool story where the SK-EX, the 9-foot Shigeru, was chosen over the 2 Steinways that were available for this international piano competition, and the eventual winner did pick the Shigeru Kawai and performed Rachmaninoff's Concerto No. 2 with the San Antonio Symphony. It was just this really cool, amazing sounding performance. But yeah, so it's a neat experience to be able to have these in our store, be able to play them. If you guys have ever had the opportunity to play one, please leave comments, because I know a lot of people would love to hear that.
We invite you to come in and play these things, because the exciting thing is not so much that we have them and we play them, but when you watch the reaction from people that come in and sit down at these pianos, and it's time for them to leave the store and they keep saying, man, I just can't believe I just can't, I need to. I never knew pianos could be like that.
Yeah, and I really enjoy like seeing a music student come in and someone who's at the university studying music, and they're like, they've played these Steinways, they've played these practice pianos. To them, it's like their homework all the time. They're playing, and they're in their mind, they've played great pianos, they've played okay pianos. To them, it's just a tool. And to see them play one of these, because they're really like, wait, why have I never heard of this, or why have they're so caught off guard. And it's really neat to see how excited they are about the brand.
It is.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We are going to be comparing the SK-3 to the GX3. So make sure you're subscribed to check out that content. That's the high end, the SK-3, which we're talking about today, and the GX3, which is kind of where the Kawai standard model maxes out. So both incredible instruments, both very expensive instruments, but really high end. And we'll be talking about the differences, the little nuances that are between the two. And which one might be a fun one to play, or for if you're looking in that kind of high end, which one might be right for you. Thanks for watching.